So I just think my Caitlyn is like way better than all my other champs.
I see. I see. So tell me about your gameplay. I guess I noticed you weren't really playing too much this week. Was it?
Yeah, I haven't played that much recently because I've had a lot of like real life shit that I needed to fix.
Ah, of course, of course.
Uh, so that's mainly why. But I'm starting to play again now because I'm like playing for the Danish team. And yeah, we have like upcoming tournaments and stuff, so I
Oh,
gotta play some
really?
more. Yeah,
Nice.
so that's
That's
pretty
pretty
fun.
cool. That is
Uh,
pretty cool.
yeah, so
Um,
like playstyle wise, I think that I play like pretty pretty safe. Like I try to play like I would play on a team, I think.
okay.
Um, and do sometimes I do like some random stuff that I wouldn't do on team, of course. That's like a little bit more risky. Um, but I think like I try to play pretty pretty safe in lane, make sure I have good farm, and then try to abuse lane a lot with Caitlyn. But with other teams, I don't really like. I'm not that good at laning compared to with Caitlyn.
Interesting. So I guess what's the what do you think you need to work most on? Slash, what do you think you're best at?
Um, like I'll just like talk about. I don't know if I should talk about other ADCs than like Caitlyn. Now this is a Xayah game, and I think that with Xayah, like I should work on probably being like really fast with my rotations instead of like wasting time. Um, and I also think I should work on punishing more in lane with Xayah.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. We can take a look at that. Some kind of mid game stuff and or laning, right? How do you I guess look for more punish, right?
Yeah,
Could
yeah.
be an idea. Okay, let's see. So you guys had the leash, didn't have the leash. It's kind of
Mm,
unfortunate, but what
yeah,
can you do? Sure.
yeah.
Um, so when it comes to finding more punish in lane, right?
Mm.
How do you think you do that?
I think I should be more active with my harass, like uh, looking at like when to go forward, like when are they going for a minion, when do I have level advantage, all that stuff. Like when can I punish them without them being able to trade back?
Right. We want to be looking for opportunities, right?
Yeah, yeah, basically, yeah.
And the I think the most effective way we can do this is kind of having these set what's it called? Kind of set plays, I guess, in mind while we're laning, right? So on Xayah would be
Yeah,
like super specific, like you're gonna throw your Q auto attack E, right? Because that's gonna be
yeah, yeah,
one
very
very
brief.
common,
Yeah,
yeah, and
yeah,
effective play, I guess. Another
mm,
is the level one Zyra Khan W, right?
yeah.
So when we're looking to kind of find something here, is there anything wrong with what we just did?
Yeah, I used W. I should not have used W to farm the creeps
Ryan, why would you say that?
because then I didn't have W for the like level 2 all in or trade we were about to
Right,
take.
right, exactly.
Yeah,
So
and
like
I can't position the feathers right, and then my E doesn't do any damage.
exactly. It kind of like doesn't make sense, right? Because
Yeah, yeah,
you could just auto attack these, right? And then
yeah,
the argument is like, oh, what if they use their level 2 advantage to walk up? I think you can easily kill these before they do any damage, and then you just kill them immediately, right?
yeah. I
So
literally like when I see it, I'm pretty sure I know why I did it.
right,
And it's really
right,
dumb.
right. You know exactly what I'm gonna say, right? It's just we're missing some kind of
Mm.
extra damage here, right? So if
Yeah,
you
like we could have almost killed, maybe even killed Sevilla.
right, if she messes up
Like,
her spell shield, you can do some kind of E
yeah,
flash, right? Or heal after her, she has to flash. You're winning 100%. But here, I guess we just get
yeah,
HP, right?
like
So
the zero damage there. So yeah,
so yeah,
should
the first thing is definitely making sure that we are able to punish, right? In the sense
mm.
that you have HP, you have you know where the jungler is, or our abilities are on, right? This is very similar to like let's say you're playing Varus and you use E on these minions. It's the
That
exact same
happened.
thing,
Yeah, okay.
right? It's the
Okay,
exact same thing
I would
because
not do that on Varus also
right,
because it's
right,
like
right.
a cast ability where Saya is more like a Tristana Q, like a buffer thing. Yeah.
Right. You can even say Tristana Q has some value to like not even use it,
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's
yeah.
the
This would
same
be
thing
like
as
using
Saya
if
doing.
you're playing Tristana, it's like putting a bomb on it or something, right? Or Caitlyn, you're using your net on a minion. It's like wait,
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Definitely want to keep your abilities up, right? So if you're wondering, how come we're an all-in lane, they're pushing up, it looks like they're trying to trade with us, we can kill them at any time. How come it's not working? It's because you just don't have your abilities on. So it's really interesting because is sure you can find some kind of opportunities with your abilities on, but if you use them, how long until you have to wait for it to come back? And it's like, oh, another wave has gone by without us being able to pressure them, right? So that's the idea is, you really can't do anything if you don't have your abilities on, right? So, and it's like, oh, now we're in a position where they're pushing us in because we couldn't fight them earlier since, our W is off. So we can't walk up or anything like that. So it's kind of awkward, right? Oh, this guy's trolling. Wait, hold up. Wait, what happened to your W?
What? Oh my god.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Same same thing, right? It's always the same thing, kind of. So it looks like to me on Xayah, you have some kind of mechanical things you can work on, right? And it makes sense because when we looked at your OPGG, Xayah was not one of the champions you played most. Although recently it looks like you're playing a lot of Xayah, right? But champions like Xayah, champions like Vayne, champions like Ezreal, you are gonna have problems if you don't just spam these champions because they're super mechanically demanding, right? It's just like this is clearly one of the reasons, right? It's like even stuff like this where you have to know your exact auto attack range, otherwise you're gonna be super upset when something like this happens, right? I do this too, right? When I don't play Xayah, pick Xayah because I'm trolling, and then I'm like, holy shit, I don't know what I'm doing, right? So that's kind of the idea. It's like you definitely have the right idea with like root and stuff, but kind of the fine tuning, right, is not quite there, right? Like using abilities on minions, for example, or using W when we can't quite hit her, right? So that's definitely something you want to look at for sure, right? That will fix that's the first step to finding, how am I able to do stuff in lane, right? That's the first step. The next step is when you know your matchup, I guess. So in this matchup, they win trades.
Yeah.
Right.
Win small trades,
Yeah, they just want to hit you and then run away and heal, right? Yeah. And then you guys want to all in all day, right? Yeah. So in this case, can you find an all in? In the next 5 seconds, do you see anything here?
Yeah, when they go in now. Now they're on top of each other, so if W is in, we'll get a knock up at least on Soraka, and then we can go in and I have all my abilities up.
Right, so how do you indicate to your con that you want to do something here?
I mean, I could Q and just like turn around to try to auto attack once, and then see if he goes in. If it doesn't, then I can always just back out, I guess.
Right, so what's the specific way you're going to start this fight? Remember how we talked about like, oh, in order to find the pressure, you need to have like the exact way to do it. Like you're gonna Q auto attack E or whatever. What's the exact order of mechanics you're gonna do?
Yeah, I'll Q around Soraka's, and then I think I would W as well though. Yeah, I'll Q and then W and auto attack her once, and then like if it doesn't go in Rakan, I would press E, but if it goes in, I would stack more feathers before pressing E.
Right, so this is super important because we need to know the theory behind fighting before we even fight, right? So are there any flaws with what you just said?
Yeah, I don't get like the maximum amount of feathers out from my Q, I guess.
I would say the bigger problem is a mistake that most Xayah players make is they will press Q and then press W, and then press E. So what's wrong? What's wrong with the?
Isn't it just that you're wasting the Q feathers?
Or not necessarily wasting the Q feathers because they're gonna hit when you press E, right? What are you wasting?
I'm not sure.
So here's a more clear example. What if you press W then Q, and then E without auto attacking? What happens?
If I press W, Q, E without auto attacking, then there's no root.
Right, but you didn't use your auto. You didn't use your W. Is the idea, right? We're not getting as much value out of our W as we can, right? So if you want to find some kind of all in, right? You said you're gonna Q, you're gonna press W, auto attack, and then E. Your E is preventing you from hitting more with your W, so you don't want to use your W until after your E is over, right? If you're doing that's like one way to do it, right? Is you're gonna Q, auto attack E,
Right.
and then press W, because the difference is that you're pressing W after, so that you're not losing any of your W time, right? That's one of the reasons why Xayah is so strong. Right? Yeah, you're losing time on your
No,
W.
I understand. Yeah,
Right,
because
right,
the
right.
one makes no
So
sense.
that's one way to do it, right? So if you wanted to find this fight, you can do that. I think that's winning. You can do that at Saber, you aim Saber, or you can aim Soraka. Either one is winning, I think, right? You can also press heal preemptively if they have ignite, because
Yeah.
it's all in. And then the second one is you press W and you only auto attack, and then you Q and then E flash, right? That's the second one, right? We'll say that one's also very common. But beyond those two, anything else is most likely going to be a mistake, because you're missing some kind of value on your abilities, right? So the reason why the thing in common with the two plays I mentioned, or I guess not really plays, but ways to fight I mentioned, is that you're getting full value out of your W. Right? I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that most people do on Xayah, is that when you watch them press W, they like hit once or twice and that's it, right? And it's like, wait a minute, you're like casting abilities during your W, right? Something's wrong, right? Same thing here, right? It's just your W is so much more important than just using it to hit minions. Like, I think you're gonna get these anyways, right?
I
So
don't know if I am. Am I?
even if you weren't, right, I would rather have have you use Q instead, right? Q is so much less valuable than your W. Your W is like if you don't have W, you cannot fight. Okay, like the reason why Xayah can still be so good late game is because you press W, you flash, and kill someone, right? You see how many times have you seen that and or done that, right? So W is just so important to get auto attacks off. It's just like we've been playing the whole lane without an ability, basically.
Yeah, I think I'm putting too like little value on W and too much value on E.
Right. In these all-in situations, 2v2 bot lane, your E is already good enough if it roots. That's what I want you to think.
Like I would never like. I would always try to get more feathers than just free for the root. You know.
Right. The root is there because it's like, yeah, later in the game you can get even more value than just root, but honestly you can argue that if you go essence reaver, which everyone does, going for the root first is always going to be good, because your E is going to be back up in time when you spam W and R. So basically root is just very good unless you're unless you're losing, right? You're in a losing fight and you need more damage from your E, but due to the matchup you're going to be winning all in, so you don't need any more value from your E than just the root. Your root is already like really good, right? So basically anytime they're in auto attack range and you're not going to die to jungle, that's your chance. And how do you figure it out is how do you capitalize on your chances? You have to be able to mechanically pull it off, right? Otherwise something's gonna go wrong. They get away, they heal up, you're losing, right? So that's the idea. Is anytime they're in auto attack range, I would say, right? How come auto attack range means you can all in? Oh, that's tragic. How come this doesn't work, right?
Because she has spell shields.
Right. So what happens if you're in auto attack range and she spell shields or con W?
I mean, I have a chance to all in and get the root with my E because yeah,
you're gonna root her. Yeah, she used spell shield on Rakan W, you can Q auto attack E and then press W, right? That's the first pattern we talked about for finding all in, right? So that tells you
far back, I guess.
Right. That tells you that if they walk up, obviously you don't want to get hit by Soraka Q, right?
Yeah,
so you're gonna dance on the edge of the skill shot range, right? So she throws Q, you back off. She throws E, you back off, whatever. And then once it's down, you walk forward again, right? Because they've been walking forward like they don't give a shit like the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like anytime like this, right? You can run in his face, right? Look how far Soraka is. There's a lot of chances here, right? I think where you can find some kind of really good all in, right? If you had W here, for example, I think they might be losing, right? So even though they are level 3, then it's like fast forward.
Couldn't you argue that they just walk up because they see that I use my W?
Right. Exactly. That's the
So
punish,
if I
right?
didn't use my W, then they wouldn't walk up, I guess. I mean, maybe they would because they're not perfect players, but still.
But you can punish. Oh my God, he's dying, right? So that's why we say root is already winning, because look at this, right? Root is already winning when you're winning the matchup, if that makes any sense, right? If let's say for example you had a Janna and they had all in, and you root, you're just trading. You don't want to keep going, right? That makes sense, right? Unless he's like no HP, then you ignite and chase. But You root and you can leave, right?
Yeah.
But let's say their Nautilus hooks Janna, then you don't want just root. You're gonna go for as many feathers as possible. See, there's a difference, right?
Yeah.
You see, you understand the difference, right? Is that
Yeah.
when you need more value, that's when you're in a losing situation, right? But you're gonna be in a winning situation when you're playing Xayah. So okay, this is really awkward. How did this happen?
Yeah. Close at the same time. I wanted the last hour too.
Oh, okay,
It's
unlucky.
really close.
I would say don't worry about it, but let's talk about this. Let's see what's
I
going
could
on
have
here.
flashed earlier, but that's.
Nice try. You thought she might miss her spell shield, so I think that was a good try. And then running up, and then full value on your W, very good, right? So, so notice, it shows that you can do the pattern, but not you didn't. You couldn't explain it to me. You know what I'm saying? Like you can instinctively do it, which is really good. Like look at how strong this is. Remember, we're like Q. We didn't even get the Q off. We just got the E off, and then press W to run forward. You got maximum value on your W, always winning. Right? That's the important thing to notice, right? You ever watch these replays and you're like, how come we didn't win this fight? Check how much value you're getting, right? So the reason you could say she got away is because this Q didn't do anything. But I think you were just trying to follow up, so I think that's fine, right? You don't really worry about stuff like that. Yeah, that's kind of the big idea, right? So you could have done that, I think since level 1, right? If you had your W on, especially at like level 2, level 3, whatever. So that's like the first step is don't use your abilities on minions, okay? Right. When is it appropriate to use abilities on minions, would you say? I think there are two main cases.
If you need to shove to push the wave on the turret.
Okay,
like
agreed.
Banking or something.
Agreed.
Or when else do you actually want to do
The
it?
second is kind of like the opposite.
Maybe if just they slow pushed you in with a big wave and you want to clear it before
Right.
the objective or something.
If you can clear it safely and kill them all, you do it, right? Since you're playing something like Xayah and or Saber, right? Something like that would be very good. Those are the two cases, right? I think we're at the rank where using abilities on a massive slow pushed wave is actually very good, right? To prevent some kind of dive or prevent some kind of
like
huge minions, something like that. So we would say that's a very good usage. Beyond that is a no-go, right? So would we say this is a huge wave yet?
No.
I agree. So I think using Q to zone is pretty good. So this actually, I think that's a very good usage of Q. And then nice try on the E, but unfortunate we didn't find it. But it doesn't matter as long as you have your W, right? That's the big one, right? Again, here, if I said you can find an all in here, how would you do it?
I mean, Rakan could leap around, so I could walk up just to bait them.
Yeah, if you just stand, if you can stand here somewhere, right, and then dodge your Q and then immediately go in, right? That could be another opportunity, right? So basically, when you're looking for, when you say, I want to look for more opportunities, it's how do I find a good fight, right? And a good fight for Xayah is you're in W range. Right, so anything like standing here, she's already dying in for Rakan's here.
Like, okay, that's
but it turns out Rakan's gonna go help your jungler or something, so that's fine, right?
So
all this is good, right? No, saving your abilities is very good. Oh, okay, Soraka's going. Oh, you're just gonna. Okay, I think that is fine, right? Getting damage on Soraka is definitely good, right? I think that was a fine usage of abilities. Let's see what's going on here. Oh. Interesting. I don't know if that one works. What is going on? What the hell? All right. Interesting. Here we could talk about lane management, but okay, we'll talk about it. I think we're at the rank where it actually is gonna help you win, right? So here they're all in, right? Let's back it up. Their jungle died, right? So they have no jungler. So they know that, you have a man advantage, which means there's no way you can lose 2v2, right? Because you're a matchup and you have full HP, right? So you didn't get poked or traded on. So Eve does this shit, whatever. She's doing some kind of pressure gank, whatever. Okay, stop. What are your options here with the wave?
Yeah, I should just tank the wave for a little bit so it's close to their turret, and then I can just zone them if they try to walk up to farm, and then they will push towards.
They literally cannot do anything. They cannot walk up. Saber cannot push the wave because she needs to boom. She needs to press W and hit a minion, right? And if
Yeah.
you just stand right in her face, she can't do that, right? And we know that you can't be ganked because their jungler literally just died. So it takes them like, what is it, 18 seconds or something like that to walk down here. And even then, you're just gonna walk away if he comes. So
Yeah, and I'll probably have level 6 when he comes.
right. So the way you can figure it out is you say, okay, what can I do right now? So you say, I can push, right? And I can freeze. Right. And then you say, what are the pros and cons of each? Okay, if you push, then you can go do something after. Okay, so if you push, you can do tower damage. I don't think that's likely, right? If you push, you can dive. I also don't think that's viable. You're not level 6, right? You can push, you can go get scuttle. I think that's okay. You can push, you can roid. I think that's not bad. And then that's the extent of it. Is I think your best option, if you wanted to push, is push and ward. Right, that makes sense. So we'll see where Kane is. And then the second option is we can freeze. Right, so if we freeze, we deny them 6, 12, 18 minions. And then we can maybe find a kill. And then that's it. You don't get the ward or anything like that, but you get to create a gold advantage immediately, right? So I think the second option is going to be better. Right, in this case, because if there's an option you can take where there's nothing they can do, I think that's always going to be really good, right? Because even if you like weigh, you know, the options and you say they're equal, and I don't think they're equal, but let's say they're equal, right? You're doing some psychological damage to them too, right? They're just like, you know, fuck this game. They're getting tilted, right? Because they can't do anything in lane. So I think that would be the better option in this case, right? Is to freeze instead of pushing, because you know what else, like we didn't even get much after pushing, right? It's like
it's just like a little bit
hit on tower.
It doesn't matter when it's Soraka anyway. And
Right, exactly. It's like you can get even more, I think, instead of just pushing, right? And it's not like you're gonna lose any minions, right? As long as you can last hit properly, you're good to go. And then it's like, okay, we could do some words, and then right, we do a freeze here. That's good.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. Also to
now,
check if they had their ward in the bush.
Right, so now the important part when you do this is when they contest you for these minions, what's the worst that could happen?
Soraka Qs me, Severe Qs me.
In terms of like...
The jungler could come, or with blasting come. But I mean,
right, in terms of like, how do they break it? They can't win 2v2, right? So they need like... how does a gank win? So what kind of gank wins here?
I don't actually...
So this is the kind of idea.
I don't see how they can kill us.
Right. Really. So this is the kind of idea where when you want to do something, you have to ask yourself, how are they going to respond? So if I put myself in their shoes, I'm going to say something like, there's going to be a Kayn lane gank in a Malphite TP. Right. And so once you figure that out, you know, I think Malphite TP is the only way they can beat this. Then you say, okay, were they pushed up into our lane for the last 2 minutes? And then you say no. So they can't, you can't be TP'd on, right? Because there's no words behind you. And then you say, is Kayn gank any good? And then you say no. And then that's how you know this is impossible to lose, right? That's how you know that you can do this, right? Is that they can't stop you, right? And then you're good to go, right? Let's say they did have a TP behind you, or the gank was gonna work. Then you say, we're going to pretend to do this, and then when their gank comes through, we're gonna leave immediately, right? That's how you can figure out what to do in any given situation, right? And then let's say, you know, none of that happens, they just try and fight you kill them 2v2, right? It's good to go. Everyone's happy. So yeah, I think Kayn was like showed up right behind you or something like that. But I think you guys are still like on a Kayn gank doesn't really do anything. I think.
I don't know. I feel like we're playing way too scared.
Right.
Like,
so
I'm not. I don't feel like I'm standing super far back right there in that situation, but I feel like Rakan, even though I don't like. Yeah.
Where should you stand? Where should you stand? You think Rakan should be up forward more?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's pretty dumb to criticize, but still, like, I played like a game with like early season with like a fucking challenger. I can't remember who it was, but he was like super good, Rakan. And like in this situation, I think he would like almost be standing in that bush, like in the beginning of it.
So there are a few cases. Okay, this is like a Rakan. We can talk about this real quick. This is like the Rakan idea, right? Is the first idea of League is that you don't want your opponents to know what you're gonna do, Right. So the idea where you run sideways and throw a skill shot is very common. You'll see Prey, Ruler, any of those AD carries play Ezreal. They'll run sideways and throw a skill shot. Right. That's obvious. Or that's maybe it's not obvious, but you can recognize that. Right. So this is we're implementing this idea by saying, oh, he's so far away he can't even engage, but they might forget that Rakan's just gonna leap to you.
Yeah.
Right. Instead of being in their face, they'll kind of know that they have to play around it. Right. The second idea is, like you said, he can hide in this bush if it's not worded, and they can't dodge a skill shot they don't know is coming. So you can throw it anytime, and they have to be afraid. But this is probably one of the most effective ways to play Rakan. I think is just you pretend you're useless, and then you jump in and then you engage. Right. I think that would be really good. So what's your role in this case if he does that?
I mean, if he wants to play like that, then I should just bait them to try to fight me.
Right, you stand in auto attack range, and then if they stay around, you press W, you win automatically. You just run them down, right? Because Xayah for some reason gets move speed too when she hits someone with W. So anything like you stand here, you auto attack, that's 100% winning, right? Because what happens when Soraka presses Q? You just kill her. Right. She can't leave. There's no way. So that's how you can kind of run her down. That's if you want to fight. So do you want to fight here?
Right here we have equal minions. Ours has a bit more HP, and Soraka's pretty low, and Severe's she lost some HP. I have full HP, so
right. I think this is fine. I think it's totally winning, right? You can say Kane's coming, but it's gonna take him a while. Long. So it's not. This all in is super fast. So this is absolutely winning, I think. So you can walk up and look for something, right? Based on matchup, that's how you know. So the way you do it is the fix is. Stand in a spot where you can hit them with auto attack, and that's when you know you can press W. Right. When in doubt, just use W. Don't even use Q and E, and you're already winning. Right. And then you can find Q and E later, like QE combo or QR and then E or something like that. Right. And then the second one is you're not in auto attack range, but you can snipe him through a minion. You'll Q, auto attack a minion, and root, and then you walk up and press W. That's the second way. Okay. Pick one of these two ways, but stick to these kind of cookie cutter fighting strategies on Xayah, and I promise you it'll be really clear on what you can and can't do. Right. If you can't do one of those two things, then you know you can't fight. Right. But if you can do one of those two things, then you know there's a catch opportunity. Right. And then ulti, it gets like a little bit complicated, but basically you use your ulti to dodge something like Saber boomerang, or you use your ulti to E-flash. Right. Those are the real general cases, right? What's going on here? Let's see. Even if Kane is here, I think this is winning. Using Q to zone is good too. Like this route is disgusting. And then, okay, I guess we're just going for the really short trade. But
I didn't want to run into the silence. Like I don't know, and not Luna. I feel like
that's fair.
Do anything either, so it's just like I don't want to rely on him jumping in.
Right. If you're not sure, that's fine. Especially since Kane is here. But I think that is A-okay. Right. You found something good. So honestly, like we're talking about how we can get more, but just getting perfect CS is already considered very good. Right. It's just that if you wanted to find more, right, that's how you punish them. Right. Stand in auto attack range. So that begs the question. How do you know when you can get an auto attack range? Like here.
Yeah, I can. Instead of auto attacking the minion, I can just auto attack to you.
Why do you know how do you know she's walking up?
There's a minion that's low.
There's a minion that's low. So then it's like, it becomes a game of
give her space to do that.
Exactly. So it's like, she wants to get a minion, you walk up, she walks away. She loses one minion. How many times do you have to do that before they give up the lane, right? You can probably get a shit ton of minions out of that, like deny a million minions. Okay, I think camping is a viable strategy here. Okay, he wants to go in the next bush. You gotta get closer, I think, if you want to do this bush. Yeah. Oh no, you gotta go all the way up, right? The reason being is because they're gonna ward it, and you're too far away. So, I guess she.
It's the way. She didn't watch this.
It's kind of weird, but okay. This is the idea: is when you do this, you have to ask yourself, what are they gonna do? They have two options. They're gonna walk up and ward, so you stand here, you're winning, or they're gonna throw a Q. So you stand here, she throws a Q, you guys walk out, so you don't get hit. So she thinks nothing's there. Right. So those are your kind of two best options, I think. There's pretty much nothing else. It's the same as he's Ezreal, he's gonna check with Q. So you hide over here, right? I think you can get closer, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or even her Q range is
If it's like in
too
the
too
middle of the
short.
bush or something, it
Yeah,
would be fine.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more than this.
Yeah, right. So I think since it's Soraka, you can just stand at the edge because she can't check without dying. And
Oh
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
say Sivir Boomerang, then you could say something like using her mana's worth because that costs way too much mana to use to check, right? So they die because you find the all-in eventually, right? You didn't even need Eve, to be honest, but take the tower, sure, base. Where do you go now?
We went top. I think
Oh,
it's okay.
okay. Why
I
is
mean, it
top
is a
kind of
Malphite.
dicey?
It is a Malphite, and it's kind of hard to like kill.
Oh my
But
god, this is genius though. The counter
yeah, this
gank.
is so good. Yeah, but the thing is, fucking drills. So
Uh, what?
doesn't matter. I don't know. Like she
Oh, he
didn't.
got Malphite ultied. He got Malphite ultied, so he couldn't move. Unfortunate, but right. It's like since it's Kane, I'm not sure if he has electrocute or not, but could going top may or may not be good, right?
Mm,
Maybe you want to say something like we want Ari in a sideline, or maybe you think you can beat out Malphite for whatever reason, or have control over this lane because you're playing Xayah or Khan, right? Honestly, you really can't go wrong with this duo lane, right? I don't even think you guys lose 2v2. Yeah, here's the 2v2 you guys are winning,
we don't.
right?
Yeah.
You guys are winning 100%. He has no ulti, so I guess they can't really do anything. So oh my, you can even kill this guy because you're so strong. Okay, very nice. Push this out, sure. Take the tower. Okay, LeBlanc's here. Maybe you just want to wait till next wave. Oh my god, he's dying. Wait, hold up. How come? I guess we're just trying to leave.
Yeah, I didn't want to go into the LeBlanc. I don't know.
Okay, fair.
I mean, I could maybe go for the root, but
Right, that's what I was thinking. You just get the root and you walk away, but or you
yeah,
could get the root and kill him.
yeah,
Either one works, but it's like yes, it's true that we can find more from playing Xayah, but I think that's not the reason why you're gonna lose league games, right? Because look at how strong we are right now, even with not finding more. The reason why you're gonna lose is because we're gonna get caught somewhere in the game, or team fighting is kind of weird, right?
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
you
get the
got-
tower, sure. Oh, it's kind of weird tanking, but
Yeah.
whatever, whatever, I guess.
But I was like, we have to.
The second camp. Oh, okay, you gotta run here.
Yeah, then the TP
He's not
ruins
gonna.
it. I'm like,
No,
what
he,
is
he can't. He can't catch up, right? You got Saber ulti for it, so
Yeah.
maybe you can start Rift Herald now. Let's see. Okay, sure. Base for Essence. I think that's fine. Push out top. Sure. You can just do Rift Herald. You can even 2-man it, right? They can't really stop you. Oh, there's a. You can just push top here. That's fine. I was saying, Rakan could maybe find something because they're in a really dangerous spot.
Yeah.
Oh, team is trying to do something. Okay, check to see if it can help. Doesn't seem like it. Sure. Whatever's going on is like, whatever. But you're coming now. Oh my God, what is she doing?
The
What?
first bar is just so weird. I was
What? It's not even close.
You missed, by the way.
Even if she hit everything, it's that. What? Oh.
Yeah,
Okay,
this is funny.
Oh, you're just gonna kill this guy. Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh, not like this. Oh, okay. Let's talk about this. Okay.
Excellent.
All right, let's go. This, I see. What I'm saying is, I'm telling you, something like this is gonna happen before, missing opportunities becomes a problem, right? Okay. Can you see anything wrong with this idea?
I don't know where the bank is, I guess, before I go
Okay, let's pretend that it's just these three. Pretend no Kane, no Malphite. It's just 1v3. Okay, how do you do it? How do you do it? That's unbeatable. That's what we're trying to find out.
a run, then if she queues, I don't want to get slowed because then I might not be able to catch up. So I feel like I should just ult.
Okay, pretend you have no ulti because I think that's
Okay.
that's like a trap, right? Trying to fit your ult into your plan somehow. Pretend you have no ulti.
Then just run if forward against them. If she queues, I could flash forward. W auto attack rocket 2 times since she's probably dead, and then go for Xayah.
Right.
Or
So
Saber, I mean.
the real important part is you're gonna walk up, and then
Yeah.
you're gonna press W, hit the closest guy. Right. That's and then you're gonna get as much value from that as possible, and then you're gonna Q and use E. Remember our pattern. Right?
Yeah.
Our pattern doesn't necessarily change, right? Unless you can say something like QE will kill Soraka, right? The pattern changes when you can figure out a different way to kill them, right? But most of the time, it's full value on W. So you're gonna start QE, which I don't think you're ever gonna get close enough. So you're gonna start with W, right? And then you ulti to do what? What's your ulti for?
Just to get out, I guess. Or like
to dodge something, right? This is
yeah.
1v3. You definitely have to dodge something. Like the
Yeah.
second part of
Yeah, I
LeBlanc's
didn't know
combo.
it was a 1 versus 3 when I went in though. That's why I ulted in the beginning because I thought it was
That's
just it was
just
like pretty free
that's
and
so
I could just
tragic,
wait
right?
to
Okay, so how does she beat this?
how does
If she flashes over there, you're kind of it doesn't work, right? That's the is kind of the idea, right? What if they have heal and she flashes behind like this way? What if she flashes this way?
yeah.
All right, so it's like it doesn't
But
really work
then I
in
just
theory,
flash them after them.
right?
If
But
I would heal,
what if
she
Saber has
flashed me
heal,
there,
right?
yeah, then I just killed him.
I
Don't
don't know.
I? I feel like
It
even if she
seems
has
like
shields and it's a 1 versus 2, I still think I killed him.
okay. I get. It's like they can literally. I feel like they could just walk away. It's not clear to me that this is guaranteed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like it's not clean is the problem,
Yeah,
right?
it's not clean. That we can
Right.
agree on.
And then he just like walks back
This
and
is
misses.
just
He
like
straight up misses Q. So I
yeah.
think you get away with this guy too. But basically the idea is, I think the idea is we're looking at is, I think you know what you want to do, but the execution kind of isn't clear, isn't
Sucks.
clean,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, like the exact sequence of events is what you need. Like
Mm.
that's how you know you don't want to start with ulti, right? Unless you think there's no way that it can go wrong. Like let's say for example, Malphite ult comes out on your team and it knocks out people, so you can ulti E. So
Yeah.
they can't beat that, right? For example,
Yeah.
but anything like this, you have to have like some kind of guarantee. Like you're gonna E flash onto them or something like that. Like E flash will work only if you're close enough. For example, right? But we're kind of not close enough. But
But I'm not in range to W, so I feel like, so is it really better to just flash forward?
right, you ended up using flash anyways, right?
Yeah,
So
but yeah.
flash for a kill, I think is perfectly fine. You can flash on this guy, and then once you
It's
kill
like-
him, Q ulti Saber E flash on her. I think that's 2 kills. That's unbeatable. That's like
Yeah.
a way to do it, right? That's
Yeah.
unbeatable. So
Yeah.
this way, I think it just doesn't make sense. But instead of kind of planning out our moves exactly, we can put general rules in terms of fighting on Xayah, like mechanics on Xayah, which is W full value. That's all you're looking for, and E has to hit them. Okay,
Yeah.
so beyond that, that's all you care about. So if you're looking for W, you need to find a way to get into W range, right? You could flash, you could heal. I don't think ulti gives you move speed, right? So it doesn't really. That's not really an option.
Greed, I think, that I just didn't want to use my flash in the beginning, but then I had to because the rank came.
Right. It's like
It's like I can
Like-
use ult and that's fine, and I can kill. But if I flash forward, then I lose my flash. I don't know.
right. There's also other problems with this too, besides the fighting. But like another thing here is like you don't know if this is worth it or not, right?
Yeah.
You don't know where they are or not, right? So I think there are just several kind of ideas here, but the one thing that's kind of the same in lane is the mechanics, right? Is the mechanics idea, right? You have to have the mechanics down, otherwise playing this champion is like hurting yourself, right? It's kind of like you need to put more time into the champion or something.
Stuff, yeah.
Right. So, and if you have no idea how to, if you don't know like what the exact right moves are for the mechanics, you watch someone else play it. Right. That's how I learned. This is how I figured it out. Is I watched someone else do it. I was like, oh my god, he's not using his W until after he used Q and E. I was like, wait, I'm so stupid because I always press W first and then Q and E, and then I have no W. Right. So that's how you kind of figure it out. Is you watch a replay of someone else. Oh, okay, he went back to his clone thing. I guess you couldn't find anything, but that's fine, right? Rakan is actually still has ulti, so this is gonna be a fat ulti. Oh, never mind, he's not coming.
Lagging.
Yeah, he's not coming. Okay, this is gonna be really dicey soon. If you guys, oh my
that-
god,
Yeah.
ulti this. Oh no. Oh.
Yeah. And I could have been clean as well.
Interesting. Okay, whatever. That was just kind of weird. I think we'll ignore that, right? Okay, you push and then you base. Sure, that's fine. But if this game hasn't been 100% clean, it's because of our mechanics, right? Especially that one play mid, which is kind of really weird. All this other stuff is very good. You're pushing. Look at this, perfect farm because you're pushing out every wave. Oh, so it's very clear that you can do it, right? How do we know this is good? How do we know this is winning?
Because Rakan is right behind me.
No, how do you know it's winning based by yourself? You don't even need
just
Rakan. You're
because I
winning.
have the full W.
Right. The full W is on, and you're in
Yeah.
auto attack range. So
Yeah.
this is 100% winning. See, there's nothing she can do. So that's how you know, right?
Mm.
So I think your mechanics problem stems from this idea: is that no matter what, you want full value out of W, right?
Yeah.
And that's what you're looking for. Because anytime you didn't do that, it was just you couldn't really do anything, right? Okay, what happened here? She just got mid tire. Okay, how come you don't have time to do scuttle crab? Can you explain to me? So after you push this, and you do scuttle, you come back. That's fine, right? So what's the difference? What's the difference between that and this?
Right between that and doing scuttle.
Right? How come we can't get scuttle now, even though it like just spawned or whatever? Like what's the problem with what's the problem with getting scuttle now?
The mid is slow, and she can get it if it just takes scuttle.
So
I mean, I didn't think she could push the wave and get mid before I did it, but
well, how come you didn't think that though?
because I don't know how fast LeBlanc pushes after her reword or whatever you wanna call it.
So this is the general idea: is after you push, that's your time to do something, right? So what was the something you did after you pushed?
You punished, or like tried to find something.
Right. So now after you tried to find something and you did a bunch of damage, what comes next?
Getting vision.
No. You had to push the wave again, right? Yeah.
Oh.
The thing you did was you punished, right? The thing you did was punish, right? So the reason why she got to push and take your tower is because we try to fit in another thing, which is not entirely bad by itself, right? Sometimes you can do that, like a fast Baron, for example, could be a good opportunity. But most of the time, the cookie cutter strat is push, do one thing, come back, right? So the thing you try to do was you try to punish, and then you got to clear the next wave, right? So you know, it's like the reason why scuttle is not worth is not worth, you know, is like not as good as an option as pushing now, is because you could have gone scuttle after you pushed this anyways.
Yeah.
So you could do this without losing anything, but we kind of lost something, right? We lost the tower / losing control because now LeBlanc has the tempo to do something, right? So maybe she's hiding in this bush, for example, now. And then it could be kind of problematic for Camille. Oh, here we go, right? They're in our jungle or something. So it's kind of weird how we gave up control mid, like, or lane priority is what people call it, right? So that could be something you want to take a look at. But honestly, it's not going to be the end of the world, right? It's not going to be the end of the world. Okay, I think we're missing people here. Okay, yeah. It could have been really dicey, but I think your wording was, you guys had enough vision to say, oh, he can't really go on us because we can see them. So, oh! All right, let's take a look. Oh my god. Oh, that is so sad. Oh, okay, we're finding Soraka. That's nice. Oh my god, she ultied forward and actually didn't get. She's fucking dead. Okay, good. Good. Now you push. Now you can run to Baron. You can do a lot of things here. You can dive because they're missing a person, and then no Malphite at all, right? Oh, he's dying. What is he doing? Right. So the big idea is getting W damage off, right? So very nice, very nice. He flashes. Sure. This fight's coming out. You just need to hit the closest guy, and you're winning. This is an ulti if you have the ulti Malphite ult, and then it's just guaranteed to be win. Oh, you're dying. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, let's talk about this. What happened here? What's going on with this picture? I don't understand. Okay, so talk me through what's going on here.
I mean, they just killed Evelyn, and Malphite ulted away in the bush in mid earlier, so I knew he didn't have ults. So I thought that if I just tanked the gain knock up, LeBlanc would probably try to kill me.
So I guess you just have you just knew you're gonna win this fight. Okay.
Yeah, I was not scared to take the fight and like
right. I guess it's okay, but it's not really guaranteed. Right. What are some better options you could do here? Let's say.
Right here.
Right. Like let's say they just kill these minions. Can you dive?
No.
So what's something you could do that's guaranteed?
Severe, maybe?
Right. You could go on Saber. You could steal red. You can ward up Baron. Right? Any of these are good, right? Or maybe if for whatever reason, I don't know. They kind of kill themselves here. So if they didn't do that, you're like wasting time. If that makes any
Yeah,
sense.
that's yeah, yeah,
But I mean, I guess it works out. It's just really messy. It's just kind of strange, right?
yeah.
You don't really get anything from that either, except money's not bad. Or you get
Mm.
temple for sure. Oh my god, what is this guy doing? Yo,
I
run him
don't.
down. Oh no.
That's been rude. Pretty
Yeah,
bad.
it's
I really felt like I would hit there. It was because I tried to do it while the Q was in the air, I think, and then
okay. It was a nice try. It was a
destroyed me.
nice try. I think it was a nice try. He got like extra move speed at the end, but oh, nice camp.
Now you're gonna witness some more weird shit.
Oh my god. What the hell? Interesting. Okay, sure. You guys want to do Baron? How come this
Don't
is
have a
dicey?
tank. We don't have a
Yes,
tank.
you don't have a tank, so
Let's try back off like pretty fast, I
right.
guess.
This is a LeBlanc W's in. You're all fucked,
This is
and
fucking
then
good as well.
oh my god, you don't want to
This is
chase
good.
this. You do not want to chase this. Why did she chase that? Holy shit, what's going on? Oh my god. Oh, Eve's gonna find something for sure. LeBlanc is no W, so
Yeah.
someone's dying. Eve's
Yeah.
dying, or she? Yeah, okay.
Someone's getting one shot.
All right.
Nice.
This is really weird. All right, you just need a push and then base for your item, right? I don't think their Baron is that fast, so you have time to base. So okay, base item. All right, so this is one of those games where, okay, the reason why Xayah is usually not recommended unless your mechanics are insane is because even if you do everything theoretically correct, you're pushing out waves. You're gonna go get vision after you push. You have lane priority. You have perfect farm. You only make good plays. If you make a single mechanical mistake in the late game, you got issues.
Mm.
So if you want to work on something, it's gonna be mechanics, okay? Because those have been your only proms, except for that one time you tried to do something mid. That was kind of weird, but I think that's the biggest issue, right? We have you have the theory down pretty much correct. Wait, hold up, what happened here? Let's see what's going on here. Okay, you couldn't stop that for whatever reason. I think maybe you can stop this.
I think it was because Malphite was coming from mid and I saw him and I was like, if I go in, I'm just gonna get fucking Malphite all there and die. But I
Okay,
have
maybe
ult, but
maybe
it's
I think
just like
if
he's like collapsing, so we'd be in the middle of them and I didn't really,
interesting. I think it's actually doable, right? Because they're tanking Baron and Camille's TP. But sure, maybe we say not possible. Okay, I think that's fine because you have no vision. So you get
Yeah.
red, you come in, and then let's see what's going on here. You can just kill this guy. What is going? Okay, hold up. What happened here? How come we couldn't just kill this guy? Let's see.
That's
Oh,
really
I see.
and
Okay,
I
so
used
what?
all my abilities in the way.
Right. So it's like
I don't know if it's like a panic thing.
we're
Maybe
not
it's not.
saying that this is bad because it's not technically incorrect. It's that when you do certain things, you must also know certain things. So when I say that, I mean if you use W on this wave, you know that you can't fight LeBlanc anymore, right?
Yeah.
And if you use just Q on the wave, you will know that you're gonna be pushing this slower, right? So I always take the conservative option where I use less. I just use Q and auto attacks and then E, right? But if you use W, you should know you got to back up all the way now because you can't fight anymore. Because when I saw this, I was like, this is 100% winning. You just press W, you win. But you didn't have W, right? So it was kind of weird, right? You just didn't have your W, right? You just poop on her if you did have it, right? You press W and then Rakan comes and it's over, right? You just kill her. But we kind of lost ulti there. So I think just don't use W on the wave.
Yeah.
Okay, even if you're pushing, use Q and
Always
E.
have W up.
Right, because one of the most common scenarios is enemies waiting in the bush, you push out. Okay, AD carry versus AD carry, you're always gonna win, right? But if you use W on the wave, you're always gonna lose, right? So if you use Q and you use E, you can still win. But if you use W, it's just no chance, right? And it's true that W is gonna help you push faster, but how much faster do you need to push?
Yeah.
You don't need to push that fast, right? LJ just never use W on the wave for now, right? I think it's just kind of bad in every case we've seen, or you should have stayed. Like, look, this is the reason why she can't do that is because you press W, she's donezo, right? I think she's straight up losing even without Rakan.
Everyone else died, so.
Oh yeah, this is just
This is
Ari
game
starts with
over.
10 HP, so you guys don't
so
want to
I
fight.
joined for some reason.
So what should you do instead of walking up here?
just walk away. But
Right, spam back
it's
ping.
just like, yeah,
This is already bad. So
yeah,
this is automatic loss already. Oh,
yeah,
even if they try and do shit like this, it's automatic loss because you're playing without a mid laner. So
yeah. And I don't
we don't even
hold.
have to watch, but
Yeah,
it's kind of
it's just that.
the big idea, right? Is this is why I don't pick Xayah, is because this is gonna happen where if you make mechanical errors, it's like pretty dunzo. But if you're mechanically perfect, it's really hard for them to do anything. So let's talk about what happened in the mid game here. Something like this is like you have control of the game at this point, right? And then you push out top, sure, and then you come mid, and then how do you know that you can't? You can't. How do you know that this fight is already over?
Ari doesn't have ult. Rakan doesn't have ult. Evelyn doesn't have ult.
Well, how do you know that there's no fight currently going on? I
Oh,
guess.
there's no one really close to each other. I
Right.
guess.
There's nothing. There's like nothing keeping people here. Right.
Yeah.
There's no commitment. Right.
Mm.
There's no Saber ulti running in, or Eve is charming in, or Ari's dashing in, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing that tells us we don't need to be here. Right. The second
Yeah.
thing is, how do you know you can just walk up and hit people?
Because I walk through pink wards.
So yeah, these are nice words, right? What about this one, that bush, or this bush,
It's
for
not
example,
walled. Like they
or this
could
bush?
know that I'm here now, but
Right. They could know, right, and that's the
yeah, and
problem.
they start to walk away, so they probably do know.
Right. And then the second thing here is you don't know where the team is, but we're still trying to flash on them. So it just
It's
kind
really
of
risky.
it's not clean is the idea. It's
Yeah.
just like it doesn't. Where's our guarantee that this makes sense? And then we really don't have a guarantee. Like you say, we have no ultis as well, right? So what should you do instead is the big question. It's like, oh, okay, my team is fine, even though it's 4v5. What do you do
If
instead?
they're fine, I should probably just stay, push the wave top, and then try to go mid.
Right. No, that's what you did, right? You try to go mid because you didn't know if your team needed you. But
Oh yeah.
once it becomes clear they don't need you, what do you do?
Yeah, that's when I would go back top, probably.
Right. You go back top. You just
Yeah,
kill the
and
scuttle, you go back
that's
top.
what I mean, like go back top, found the wave, and then again look for something.
Right, exactly. Or you could say something like, "Oh, if you want to be near dragon, then you just walk mid to clear the minions." Right.
Yeah.
The only time you want to make a play is you have to know it's gonna work. Otherwise, it's just I don't know. It's like you got 2 kills, but these guys, you could actually. I think this is actually worth, but you didn't know where their team was, and they could have easily, kind of been here. Right. It's like it's actually worth, but we can't reproduce that result in another game. That's the problem. Is that it was kind of random, right?
Yeah.
So and then all this happens because it's like we can't do anything. But since you kill 2 people, they're just gonna win, right? Your team has more people, so it looks like they're winning that. And then okay, I think this is all good, right? You're pushing and do dragon. This is all good. And then the next thing that happens is like another fight, right? Okay, what's going on here? Run mid, and then it's kind of
awkward. I don't know why again, it sounds like I'm fucking flaming, but it's not flame or anything. It's just like I don't know why the Rakan didn't use ult when LeBlanc jumped on her. I was like, what I thought. That's why I thought it was.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but nothing to do with us, honestly. And then this we can talk about this too, but what happens when he's coming out of TP?
And he's gonna ult, of course. Yeah.
Right, so you gotta ult immediately, right?
But
basically, yeah. We're kind of like, well, it's not even if it's point blank, we can still dodge it because we know. What do we know? Under the assumption that the teleport finishes, he's ulting immediately, right? So how do you make it juicy? You stand on top of Eve, so then he gets baited to ult, right? So that's kind of how you can give him an incentive to do that, right? Because he's gonna ult Eve anyway. So and then I think we get lucky because we didn't die, but in another game, it's still kind of dicey. But that's not something I think you should work on, right? It's stuff like, okay, go top and then base, sure, and then we go mid. It's stuff like fast forward, stuff like this where there's like this fight mid, and then it's like really good, and then here, right? It's kind of the mechanics section is what's gonna go wrong, right? Like if he had ulti there, we're super screwed, or if LeBlanc had QR, we're super screwed as well, right? I actually don't know why she didn't use that.
She can W and then Q, but then I can ult. I think I can ult before she gets Q out.
If this was like perfect, quote unquote, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna die to Malphite ult, right?
Because we know that.
That was like here. So
yeah.
let's see.
Isn't it? I feel like it should be down.
All right, it's like 1 minute, I would say. So fast forward, especially as cooldown, and then it's getting really close to a minute.
It's like
I would
20
say.
seconds. I mean,
I guess,
I just
and I
assume
guess we're
it's.
safe
I
then,
mean,
right?
but you should not assume, I guess.
But it's just that kind of fight is just. I guess you could try and go for it, but it's kind of weird, right? And then I think the rest of this is just it's just like decisions that kind of don't make yeah, exactly. It's like when you the consistent way to win solo queues, you have some kind of strategy that's always gonna win, right?
Yeah.
Based on your team comp. So what's the strategy on your team that's always gonna win?
I think pick mainly. With Ari.
That's not really a win condition though. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, team fighting is not even super good.
Right. So what is your team good at if it's not team fighting?
Split pushing, I guess.
Right. You want to split.
The rest, yeah.
Exactly. You guys want to be split pushing, right? So anything like you guys try to start Baron. That's kind of a mistake, right? We could have done something like push mid, for example, or maybe we can hide in Baron, right? But I think it's easy for them to check, right? Or maybe we can engage here, right? Yeah. Maybe you know that this is sweep for a reason. I hope you bought pink wards, but we didn't see. But you could be standing right here and then trying to find something. But a lot about getting out of this rank, because this is super cancer at Diamond 5. The Diamond 5 to Diamond 1 is like the most cancerous rank, I think, in terms of League of Legends. The way to win this is you kind of have to give your team every advantage possible, right? Like tell them, we want to do this, or we want to do that, or at the very least, we don't want to do this, right? So if you recognize this is a 0 out of 10 idea, you can spam back ping, right? Or anything like that, right? This dragon's not gonna matter. Push mid, and then honestly, the last 5 minutes was just super unlucky. Like, what is this, right? Wait, let's watch this. Eve is just like running in. Oh, actually, it was a nice try, but she kind of lost vision. That was she's dead. She's dead. Oh.
And the Ari is just like pretty XD.
I think here you could have contested Baron, but not necessarily your fault. Okay, so why do I say that? Why do I say we can contest Baron?
Malphite is not there to tank, so they have taken some damage. They have Baron debuff, so we can melt them faster.
So if you can hit the closest guy, it's automatic win, right?
Yeah, but
how did they stop you from hitting the closest guy?
Malphite ults.
What do you use to counter Malphite ult?
My ults.
What do you have? What do they have left?
LeBlanc damage.
Right, and then you win with Rakan ulti, and I think that's it. Kayn, it's really unlikely that Kayn can just walk up in EU, especially after Camille TP. So we know this is we should know that this is kind of winning, right? But honestly, even trying to stop the Baron, I think, could be considered okay, right? Not just trying to stop the Baron. And it's like, okay, what do we do afterwards? Stuff like this, where we're like losing ulti for no reason, or here we're trying to continue a fight, right? It's kind of like you didn't do anything. You didn't throw the game, right? It wasn't you, but we couldn't kind of prevent bad stuff from happening, if that makes any sense, right? If you ever recognize a bad situation, like you guys try to start Baron, you should try and like spam back ping or something like that. And it starts with 0 HP, spam back ping, right? We don't want this fight, right? Is like you could also honestly, I think this game was unlucky, right? If you have 100 games like this, you're gonna win most of them.
Yeah, but that's like what I'm thinking, like, because it was a good game. I just like wanted to know if there was like stuff that I could still do better, because this is like a game where I think it's pretty essential. Like it's pretty fine like to play like this.
I agree. It is fine to play like this. The only thing you could really nitpick is like the band-aid fix is the mechanics. Okay, that's like the band-aid fix, right? And if LeBlanc's becoming a problem, you need like Hexdrinker or something. But
but she hadn't been a problem.
Yeah, she hadn't been a problem. So honestly, it's like you don't really worry about that. It was just your team kind of suicided in that section, right? So honestly, there's no real big issue that we had to take a look at. It's just if you're playing Xayah, you need to make sure the mechanics are like squeaky clean, right? Because stuff like this, where we lose ulti, like one of the big reasons we play Xayah, one of the 3 big reasons is the ulti, right? Second big reason is your W is cancer, and then the next reason is your E is cancer, right? So we're missing one of those reasons. So we can't even like team fight here, right?
Yeah, because I don't have all that can walk up.
Right. Really. I think if you want to consistently win at this rank, you don't even need the best mechanics. It's just what do you do in any given situation. So let's see. Let's back it up here. So like for example, we try to go mid. It's like here somewhere. You try to like make something happen mid, but it kind of doesn't make sense, right? Let's fast forward. Remember how we were like going from top to mid, and then it looked like a fight was going on, but then nothing really happened, and then we tried to do something anyways, right? You should know it doesn't work because you pretend there's a word in here. Okay, so you go back top, or you take mid, but you don't try and make a play, right? So it's like stuff like that where you didn't know is kind of making these weird situations, right?
Yeah.
And then all this is great. Like all this, like most of the time, your rotations are really good. So when you're asking, you know, what do I do about rotations? It's more of you go do something else when it's kind of guaranteed. Like you're gonna help this fight. It's guaranteed. But that fight wasn't guaranteed, so you didn't want to go, for example, right? In this case, you know, it looks like we have some kind of guarantee here, but we don't, right? So in this case, you would say something like, "We can run up and then press W," because why can you do that in this fight? Why do you want this fight? That's a better question.
Because Malphite is bot.
Right, Malphite is bot. So if he's teleporting, you'll get an indicator, but he's not teleporting, right? And you can also argue that this fight is so fast, 4 seconds is not going to save them. They need 4 seconds for the teleport, right? 4.5 seconds, really, right? So it's kind of situations like these where we're not either pushing forward because you have more people or running away. Remember the 4v5 already was like already dead. You need to leave that, right? It wasn't really any specific thing you did wrong. It was just here are some ideas we can throw at you and see what sticks. Because unless, do you have another replay we can take a look at?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, let's take a look at that too. Because from watching this, it was just general ideas of, you know, what's good, like how, like what's good and what's bad in terms of decision making, right? Besides mechanics, there's no like one big thing you should have worked on, right? Except mechanics. Definitely work on mechanics, I think. Remember the idea of, you know, how exactly do I fight on Xayah, right? W, you have to get maximum value on W somehow, right? And then that's all you really care about. W first or W last, right? After they're rooted. The other stuff was just, it could be a bunch of different things, right? Wow, this game was just super sad though. I think it was like, I just couldn't get anything.
Yeah.
Maybe you could like hit the tower here, right? How come we can hit the tower here?
Just like I was like trying to find another.
Oh, maybe we can't hit the tower here. He has a Malphite on.
Okay, I have a replay here.
Two stars. Oh, is that where we're going? No, we're going to just
But yeah, I don't know. I think.
Yeah, overall, this is like not a game you should. This is you say this is unlucky, right? This is like this game, right? You would say that we didn't really make any. We didn't really throw, so not our fault, and I agree. Right? If you say it's not your fault, I would agree. So you need to play like this every time, and then you're good to go, right? You just need to play more. But if there was one thing to look at, it's like mechanics, right? It's like you can't really immediately teach, you know, what's good, what's bad, right? You know, sometimes I would say I would do something different here because of this slight difference, right? The most general thing I can give you is like recognize if this is a losing or winning situation, like
Like the last fight that we lost, basically.
right,
Because
right,
we
right.
got it from
That's
that
actually
example.
super. Yeah, that's super important in solo queue
Yeah.
because you're not always gonna get a winning situation, right? Half the time it's like 50-50, right? Half the time you're gonna get a losing one, half the time you're gonna get a winning one. So if you
Yeah.
see a winning one, like their Malphite was bought, right? And
Mm.
you can run forward like a monkey because you have more people, right? That would be a winning situation. And then a losing situation would be something like the Ari thing, right? Or maybe even starting Baron is a losing situation already, right? You
Yeah.
starting it's like it's not good unless Rakan can tank. Like if Rakan then can die for it, sure, but it seemed kind of dicey, right? Um,
Mm.
but I think
Yeah.
overall, the thing that's gonna help you most is like Xayah mechanics,
Mm.
right, in this game. But honestly, we didn't even get the team fight. This is just such a weird game.
Yeah, it was like really
I
like
think.
just a lot of weird skirmishes.
All right, so I would
So
say the next thing you should do is if you really want to play Xayah, you watch other people play Xayah. Like I think Ruler is a good one, right? Ruler is Xayah. Let's see what's going on here,
mm.
and then we'll see exactly what he does. You want to go over
Yeah.
that real quick and see what's going on in the mid game, I guess.
Yeah, we can do that, sure. While the other game uploads, it's fine.
All right.
I do look at some videos with like Korean players like Ruler and Prey and Bang and stuff. Mainly I
Oh,
look at
Bang,
Caitlyn
yeah,
videos though.
Bang for sure, right? Bang's really good. All right, let's see how you fought here.
Yeah, W,
W,
full
and then
extend, Q, auto E. Yeah.
right. So the W value is gonna get the W value first. So W first, right?
Yeah.
It's either W first or it's gonna be Q and then auto attack E first, right? So
Mm.
this is what he's doing basically. And
Yeah.
then fast forward to mid game stuff. Let's see what we can get here. Sure, he rotates top. Let's
Mm.
see. Oh, he wants
Takes
red
flip
first, I
buff
guess.
first.
Sure. And then run top. They couldn't really find anything. So he's just gonna push. And
Yeah.
then maybe he can kill this guy because he's Xayah Rakan, right? Oh, that's he's
Doesn't
killing him.
matter. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
dying.
Yeah.
Nice. Take tower, push. Let's see. It's actually interesting because it's Xayah Rakan, right? I guess that's
Mm.
when you pick Xayah Rakan, he still has ulti, so not afraid, right? This is kind of the idea when they had Soraka Saber, right? You
Mm.
should be even less afraid, right?
Yeah.
As long as you're auto attack range, you're winning, right? Assuming 2v2.
Yeah.
And then, okay, push some more. One thing you can take away from watching these high level replays is you don't immediately have to do the objective that you control, right? They're not, if they went to Rift Herald, do you think they could finish it?
Mm. I mean, probably.
I agree. They can just do it. But
Yeah.
in this case, they're gonna look for even better stuff, right? They're gonna stick
Mm.
around to see if they can get anything better than just straight up doing an objective. Like they're gonna try and fight or
Yeah.
push another wave or something like that. So they're just gonna push, I think, and then back
Yeah.
off, right? Oh, okay, what's going on here?
But that's also because they're so far ahead from like.
Right,
compared
but
to the middle lane, I
even a
guess, isn't
slight
it?
advantage is the same, right?
Okay.
You can
Okay.
still play the same if you know you're winning for whatever reason, right? So
Yeah.
then they head to Rift Herald because Olaf is soloing it. So
Mm.
sure, base,
Yeah.
and then run. Oh, they're gonna go run top again. Sure. I don't think they want to get in
Why
Azir's lane, right? So in this case, the enemy bot lane is pushing this wave back. So who's gonna catch it?
Yeah.
So you have several options. You can have Darius back, go top, you go bot, but you're missing out on the big wave. You can have Rise go top and you go mid, but I don't think
But
you want
no,
to be
so
mid
you
versus
get
Azir,
Xayah.
or you can just
Yeah.
go top, right? And you can say that Ocean Dragon is not really a priority, right? So they're gonna go top to catch this.
Yeah.
And Darius died, so you can't really send Darius top anymore. And then another reason could be, we want to match their bot lane because we know we're winning, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That makes sense. They could
that's
push.
another reason.
Yeah. I would have probably gone bot though.
Right. If you want to, basically,
And send Darius
let's
top.
let's
I
take a
mean,
look.
we
Let's take a
lose
look
top
here.
trade, but we get Drake and yeah. I don't
When
know.
he's building the wave, you want to go to that lane. Is the same lane. That's why sometimes you'll see bot lane takes tower, then go bot still, and then
Yeah,
fix the
because
wave, and then base
they
and go
have to
top.
catch the wave. Yeah.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
a similar idea, right?
Yeah. But how long is Darius that far? I can't see it because of this card logos.
Oh wait, say again.
How long is Darius that far?
Oh, he's
Like, how
died.
far
He's
can
dead
he
for.
cross?
He's dead for like long enough. Like he's already halfway up the lane. So
Catch the wave or
right, you. It's like not even that. It's like you want to be the one catching the wave, right? You're the
yeah,
AD
okay.
carry. So Let Darius go back to his lane, right? And maybe if it was Inferno Dragon, maybe you want to swap top. I mean swap bot, right? But it looks like they really wanted to make this happen. So Swain's here somehow. Interesting. They just die because
W movement speed is fun.
it's just currently temporary 1v4, right? Oh, they have Faker on the other team too. That's interesting. They are really going deep. So for whatever reason they thought the play was guaranteed. Oh, he still has ulti. He's fine, right?
He's fucked. Maybe not.
And he's just gonna E and he kills him, right? So
yeah.
ulti to dodge something, right?
Yeah.
So what is he dodging here?
Wait.
Let's back it up. Let's back it up.
A little bit.
Some kind of a Xayah damage, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But didn't
and fast
Q
forward.
like right before? Whatever.
And then he's just gonna base. Oh, never mind. He's gonna get more shit, I guess. So it's actually, you know, in some ways similar to how you were playing, right? It's just that I think you got unlucky near the end when, and we made a crucial mistake trying to fight like a 4v5, right? It's just that's why I say like these champions I'm not a fan of because one mistake in the late game and it's like, oh, this is tragic, right? Like for example, you lost your ulti to LeBlanc for no reason, and then we tried to 4v5, right? So all it takes is one mistake, and then even though you could still win, it's just like, oh, this is over now, right? There's nothing you could do after that. So let's see what's going on here. Oh, he's trying to bait a Xayah, I guess. But Faker's not falling for it, sure. Okay, and what's the reason why they would go mid now instead of before? What do you think?
I mean, I'm not sure. Like,
he's got some fat items now.
Auto trade that they can take, and
he can do something now. And Rise really wants that side wave, so they're so strong that you know they can't do it. Even if he goes mid, Azir can't really do anything. He's gonna out poke Azir, I guess. Right, 2 items to 1. Honestly, this game's just over. They just push and they just win, right? There's nothing they can do. Okay, so here's okay, push and then, you know, try and fight, right? They don't have Olaf, but they can still win as long as they play for really good value, right? So notice how why would he back off now?
Just 2 seconds. What did you ask? I got distracted.
Why would Ruler back off after he saw that? What did he see that made him back off?
She's serious moving closer.
What's losing? What tells you that this is losing?
Rakan doesn't get to the carries. I don't know.
They missed, right? They missed their abilities, so you want to back out, right? It's these kind of situations that I think a lot of players are missing to make the jump to like the higher ranks. Is that you need to recognize when a situation is going south, right? Whenever someone like gets chunked out or you lose ulti, someone misses an ability, anything like that, you want to be running away, right? You want to stop doing what you're doing because you were fighting based on the you were fighting because you still had those abilities up, you know what I'm saying? Or you still had that person alive. But when it's gone, you need to leave, right? Until they make a mistake, right? Maybe you can find something else, but they just go back mid here. So I think that's one thing you could definitely take a look at is recognize if this situation is good or bad. Honestly, we can't really tell because we only saw one replay, right? But I would say if you play like that every game and you don't make any kind of mechanical errors, you're good to go, right? But it didn't look that way in the OPGG, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah, definitely. Like right now, I'm playing very inconsistent because I haven't played for a while as well. Like that.
Right. I guess
you
just need to play more, right? So, but if you play like that, I think that's really good.
I get bored a lot.
Really?
It's really, really bad. But like I'm like, I don't know, dude. I get fucking bored sometimes when I play, and I'm like, okay, I gotta like just do some fucking dumb shit now. Like,
do some
it's
crazy
really bad
shit.
for rank, but it's just like, I don't know.
Oh my god, this guy's insane.
Yeah, he's fucking crazy.
What the fuck? You see this, the hardest of baits, right?
Gets so fucking low and then just ults.
What was the ulti to dodge? What was he dodging here?
S here, WQ. Oh, just yeah. That's your Q. That's your
Yeah,
soldier damage.
the W, right?
Yeah.
Faker is trying to get him with the one more hit, and then that's how he knew he could go in, right? You don't need to do stuff like this, but this is the reason why Xayah is just like, oh my god, this champion.
Yeah.
Really hard to play, but if you can play really well, you can do stuff like that, right? He actually gets
Mm.
static shift third. It's just having fun, I guess, or it's just better buy right now because it costs less than infinity. But I think that your gameplay was actually very similar to this, minus the mechanics, and sometimes you like had a weird rotate, right? You
Yeah.
try to help a fight that was already over. Like the big, like if you want to look at the big things you could have done better, it
Mm.
was the mechanics, right? How
Yeah.
it wasn't clear to me you knew how to fight exactly on Xayah, right? Remember, you needed the W
Yeah.
value no matter what. And then if you can do that, you should know you win 2v2. So you can walk up to Soraka and Saber and all in, right? And then the second part was in the late game situations, you need to. I think the biggest thing that'll help you is like if you see something go wrong, like your teammate's dead or your teammate loses all their HP, don't keep fighting. That's
Yeah.
the last thing you want to do, right? That would just escalate the situation, right? Like, remember how Ari had 0 HP and then Eve went
Yeah.
in? That's 100%
Yeah.
losing, right? There's no
Yeah.
way you can win.
Mm.
So in those situations, you want to back off, okay?
Yeah.
But beyond that, that's really all I could see that was like on you because everything else was really unlucky, right? Teams just
Yeah.
like suiciding and then you lost Baron and then team suiciding and then even though it wasn't your initial fault, yeah, sure, we like kept trying to fight and then we lost the game off that, right? So
Mm.
the thing that'll help you the most from what I could see is the mechanics, okay? I can't stress enough how much the mechanics matter because
Yeah.
not only are you gonna miss kills, you're also gonna die if you miss in a
Yeah.
straight up 2v2 all in. You're gonna actually die, right? If things go south. So the best thing for you to do is forget about the ulti for now, right? And practice the two fighting kind of ideas, which is W first and then QE, right? Like we saw earlier in this replay, and then the QE route first and then W, right? Either one works,
Yeah.
but try and get that pattern going.
Yeah.
Try and get that pattern going. Because when you did do it, you absolutely shit on them, right? And then when you didn't do it, like you used W on the wave, you couldn't do anything. So
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing you could fix for mechanics. And then the second thing is try and recognize bad situations. Okay, that's the most general thing I can tell you is you see someone miss ulti, you back ping. You see someone get chunked out, you back ping, right? You just want to
Yeah.
whenever something bad happens, you want to not keep that thing going in solo queue. That's like one of the worst things in the diamond ranks is
Mm.
something bad happens, everyone keeps going,
Let's just
and then
try and
everyone
do it.
dies.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. Everything else was very good, right? You're clearing out your waves, you have perfect farm. It was just that we didn't get to see any team fights, so I couldn't even see how you played those out, right?
Yeah.
But I think the fighting was not bad. You had the right idea, right? You're like, oh, we can't lose because Malphite has no ult, right? You have the right idea. It's just the execution could be kind of dicey, right? Soraka has no HP. We can flash in here, but maybe don't use ulti first, right? I think it's just small things that you could work on. As long as you play like that every game, I think you're actually good to go, right?
Mm.
Just make sure that when the late game stuff comes around, you guys don't keep doing a bad thing, right? Honestly, you can't really tell because there aren't enough games. But,
Yeah, I know. I know. That's perfectly fine. Like,
right.
I didn't think you would say it's so.
But if you have like
Anyways,
another
yeah.
replay you want to send me, I can go over it real quick and send you like notes so that
I'll upload
you don't
it
feel
later.
cheated. I feel like it was hard to tell you, what you could work on besides mechanics because
Yeah.
this is just like what face game, dude. I don't know. You just
That's what I
team
thought,
suicided
like,
in the end.
just wanted to be sure, like
Right.
that this was like how I'm supposed to play, like that
That is yes.
I don't have like any wrong ideas.
You have the right idea. Like look at your CS per minute and your score and your damage, right? All these stats tell you were doing the right thing. So
Yeah.
you were doing really good. It's just like something like this, there was a different problem in this game,
Yeah.
right? And something like this, there's a different problem in this game. So it's like we can't really tell.
Yeah.
But if you play like this is 10 out of 10. I think this is 9 out of 10, excepting the last team fight. So
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
I uploaded another game to YouTube.
Oh.
Same channel
okay,
already.
let's see it then. Let's take a look.
It's a Caitlyn game though, not a Xayah game.
That's fine. That's
So
perfectly
it's some
fine.
other
Right.
mechanics, but yeah. And it's a game that I recorded a pretty long time ago, or like not super long time ago, but some time ago.
hmm
So
Is that like a week, 2 weeks? or
I can find the date. Choosing. I think it's more, honestly, but I think it's fine to look at anyway. Should be. Oh shit! Wait, where did it go? There. Oh, okay. It's actually pretty long time ago.
it should be okay.
I
If
mean,
it's still
I
Diamond
think it's
3,
still fine to watch
it
it.
should be
It's
good.
same elo, so
Okay, then it's still fine. So
yeah,
let's take a look.
yeah. It's like 2 months ago. Holy shit! I just went through my recordings and found the game.
All right, let's take a look. I think we'll skip through laning phase because it was fine, unless something goes wrong. I think your laning was good enough, right? I think it was good enough. So
Yeah.
let's fast forward. Oh, how do we get 2 deaths all of a sudden? All right, let's take a look. All right, whatever. Push, sure. Okay, and then you're gonna go mid. I guess. What's the reason? Oh, okay, this is
I
awkward.
didn't want to push more bot lane
So,
because my support was mid, and I take a greedy
ooh.
path. I think that I talked to a friend of mine a lot. Like we were reviewing each other's games and stuff, and he said that a path like really greedy sometimes, and I think this is a greedy pathing
How do you know it's greedy pathing?
because I don't have any vision in my red side or like red buff jungle.
That's not technically. It depends on the game. Okay, let's say you're playing Xayah. Is this a good path?
Yeah, because I can win this one day this year.
Right, you can 1v1 her. So the reason why it's not a good path is because your champion, the champion matchup tells you, yeah, you have to be afraid of Tristana at all times because she's gonna all in you. You're gonna lose no matter what, right? You're gonna do some net trap combo. She flashes it, you lose, right? So this is the kind of idea that if you don't know where they are, you have to pretend like they're in every bush. You're actually gonna die here, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So what do you do instead in this case, right? She can even be running down and coming over here, right? So what do you do instead here?
I could back and then go mid. I mean, I could also just take a really safe path to mid.
But why do you have to go mid? Right? Why do you have to go mid?
I feel like I can't stay bot by myself.
Right. So, but we don't have to kind of
assist me pings, but
you could like go Krugs, right? You should spam assist me pings because Jana should be there with you, right? Like after they clear this wave, Jana should come back. But the important idea is that if you're in a losing position and you're gonna die to something in the jungle, say it could be Rengar, it could be Kha'Zix, you don't go through the jungle. Right? You do anything, you can sit at your tower. As long as you push past the mid wave point, you're happy, right? You should do Krugs here and put down traps so that if she jumps over, you can get out easy, right? But the big idea is like, it's like if you don't know where they are, they're in every bush. Okay, like this is any AD carry, and any AD carry is beating Caitlyn right now. I think, right? Any common AD carry nowadays, like Varus is winning. I think here, right? Who else? Who else could be? I don't know. It could be anyone, honestly. Yeah, Xayah's winning. Yeah, all these guys are winning, especially because they have the vision advantage, right? So something like this is not something we saw in your Xayah gameplay, but for sure this is kind of like Schrodinger's gank, right? It's always happening unless you see otherwise. Wow, you're winning that. Oh no.
Yeah,
oh no.
But I was winning that. I should go in for that.
Yeah, that was 100% winning. Yeah, exactly. So you know that when do you use your E in a fight in an all-in?
When you can execute with it, I would say, or when you need to get away, but that you don't really need to get away on all-in though. So
right. So
like,
when they're dead, when you're killing them. So we're not killing. He's not low enough yet. So I would say don't use it. Right. It's better to just auto attack. So in terms of mechanics, on Xayah, it was like don't use W on the wave and know your fighting combos, right? W first or root first, and then here I guess is from what we saw right now is E. You save your E. Oh, this same thing, right? This is the same thing, right? How do you know that they could be there?
I mean, we don't see anyone. And our bot lane is pushed in, so someone pushed it in recently.
Right, so
there,
you don't know where they are, so if you lose track, they could be anywhere, okay? If you lose track of them, they could be anywhere, so you try and come back bot. How do you check these bushes?
W.
Right, W is probably the best way, right? What else?
Have a ward.
Okay, yeah, you have a you have a word.
Oh,
You
I
can
can
also
queue
Q.
in and listen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and literally anything, right? But
yeah,
you didn't W that, so you're definitely gonna die, right? And then it's just you're just gonna dash to a minion. You have no.
yeah,
Oh wow,
yeah,
even Jax is
yeah,
here, right?
yeah.
So the big one the idea we're kind of looking at here is that if you have the same kind of problems, uh, in your gameplay nowadays, it's they
Yeah,
are
this
in
could
every
be more.
bush,
Yeah,
right?
probably. Yeah,
If you don't know where they are, they're in every bush. We actually kind of did see that in the Xayah game when you try to make a play mid and you're like, oh shit, LeBlanc is here,
yeah.
right? If you know, the first thing you do when you want to do anything, right, is you ask yourself, where are they? So let's say you want to go bot. Where are they?
Yeah, Yasuo push bot we know, so he could be in a bush close to bot lane.
Right,
So
you
don't
say,
path greedy through the jungle.
right, you say, could be Yasuo and Jax. This is what I do: is
Yeah,
I say champions that could be here. Okay, it's gonna be a Yasuo and Jax. So can I beat that? I don't think so, right? And then okay, where could they be? In any of these bushes, right? They could be on this blast cone, right? That's a spicy one that probably doesn't happen often, but it's possible, right? Over
yeah,
this golem wall, right? Anything like that. So you want to get to that wave, you have to go all the way around, right?
yeah,
Because they can even be in this bush. I don't know if you can see that, but they can be in even down there, next to your wall, right? So how do you beat this? Maybe you say we need Elise and Janna, so 3v2 is winning, for example, right?
mm,
Uh, but I think uh, I think you may be having issues when you don't know where they are on the map. Okay, this is not winning. Oh, it is winning.
oh, yeah,
Oh,
that's winning.
never mind. Katarina's here. I thought Jax is here still, so I was like, oh, this is
Oh,
gonna be
yeah,
dicey.
that's
But
true.
I guess this game is kind of we're kind of losing because of those two deaths,
Yeah,
right? So one thing you could actually work on is map awareness, right? I
mm,
think that'll actually help you a lot, even with the Xayah game, right? Is
yeah,
that if you don't know where they are,
just
right?
play.
They could
Yeah,
literally be in the worst spot for you at any given moment, right?
mm,
That's what you should be thinking.
yeah.
And then we take this, sure, take mid, okay, that's fine. Oh, what are we buying? Wait, what are we buying? We're not buying anything. What should we do instead here? I guess
Save,
what is worth
save
a
gold
buy?
for I, or is that better?
Say again?
Save gold for I. Infinite Edge.
You just have nothing to buy here, right? The only
Yeah,
reason you'd back here is for a ward, is for a
yeah,
control ward. But I would say you don't even back for that. I would say you just push mid, right? Or let's say you can't push mid for whatever reason. What's the reason you can't push mid? I can't think of a reason, so you push mid, right?
mm,
You say it's Tristana Lulu. Okay, you do some trap, net trap, and you're good to go. Oh, okay, they die here. You can push mid. You can't fight the Rift Herald, right? Okay, I guess we go top. Sure, if you can clear
I'm
this
just
without
trying to
dying.
get trash. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, this is let's see what's going on here. This is okay. He can't dive, I don't think. Nice cancel. Oh, this guy's trolling. Trap. Oh no. Okay, what could we do? What could we do here? I guess that would help us fight. How do you fight on Caitlyn? I guess.
A and trap between AAs.
So this
Mainly Q
Q.
if they get out of AA range, but they were not out of AA range, so I should not have queued already.
No. Okay, so you
Oh,
use
safe, but
Q when you can't miss. Right. So can't miss includes they get CC'd you Q, right? Or they step on a trap
oh,
you Q.
yeah,
Or they're dodging in one direction so they can't move so you Q. Those are all very good. So you
okay,
saving Q like this is 10 out of 10, right?
okay.
What could we have done better though in terms of fighting?
I put traps down.
Right. So where do you put them?
Uh, you can see where my mouse is, but you see the ward we have?
Right here?
Yeah, left to go left. There,
All right, this is a
later.
great spot, right?
Yeah,
Anything where their path takes them. So along
yeah.
the wall, this one's a good spot. This one's a good spot. Even in the middle, so they're
Mm.
like, wait, what is this shit, right? Those are all
Yeah,
good
it's just like
spots,
Jax goes there now, and then I should put it now
right?
instead of
So,
queuing, I think. But it's
yeah,
just once the
exactly.
living comes forward and it's just flash, it's kind of risky. It's, yeah, I don't know. But the Q animation is
Uh,
as long as the W, or longer than the W anyway, so I could.
right. It's just
Yeah,
the general idea is you put down as many traps as possible, and how many traps do you save?
one.
Uh,
I'll say
as
one.
many traps as you can combo with CC plus one for yourself. So if they have some kind of diver, plus one, so you can do a net trap combo, and then
Okay.
you can use you save the rest for combo on CC. So do you have any combo on CC?
I mean, I could say one for Janet, like when Janet W's, but
No. Like hard
what's
CC,
it?
like you literally cannot miss. Like Sejuani ulti or Sejuani
Oh,
stun.
Elise Cocoon.
or Zanya's. Those all count. At least it's not here though, so she doesn't count.
So here there's not really anything, is there?
So you can put all your traps down except for one. I would even you can even say you can put all of them down because you don't need to net trap. But that's kind of the basic mechanics here too. Is put traps down on Caitlyn, right? That's your first priority. That's the hardest thing to do too on Caitlyn because you always want to auto attack or use abilities or stuff. Oh my god, she fucked this up so bad. What am I watching? Oh my god. Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay, now we're winning though. Now we're winning. All right, let's see what happens now. Okay, base, sure, and then push mid, sure. Okay, there's some kind of thing going on in the jungle, but looks like your team got out. That's fine. Stay mid. I think that's fine. What's going on here? Trying to fight for wards. Can't really do anything about that. Wow, they're really pushing you guys in. They really want to get something done, huh?
It's really weird. They have like Tristana and Lulu, and they were ahead, so I feel like they should have just played the show. It's slow.
Okay, they go top, and then you guys clear mid, and then you go top. Sure, you defend. I think that's fine. You couldn't push mid. They're just gonna collapse. Oh,
another nice.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a pattern here, right?
Yeah, that's out of range.
Don't use E. Don't use E. Hold on to your E. Okay, that's what you say for Caitlyn, right? Is you definitely don't want to use it. Unless you have some. Basically, when you use your net, that's saying A, I'm out, or B, you're dead. Right?
Yeah.
Those are the only cases. The only time you use it to trade is you have 6 items and you're hitting a backline.
Yeah.
And then that's like headshot crit is good enough to say your E is very good, right? But right now it doesn't. Right now our net doesn't do anything. Yeah, so you want to save it.
I saw Ruler play Caitlyn. I think it was Ruler. And he legit like never used E.
Right,
like,
exactly.
I didn't see him E once in like a full game or something.
Right. It's because he didn't need it, right?
He never died. Yeah.
Always have it up, right? It's your trick the enemy move, right? Your traps and your E. Okay, that was a really good trap, but you could be putting them here too, right? Stuff like that. But honestly, not the end of the world. You just hit them here. You're good to go. Sure. And then E, so you can run away. Oh, you're dying.
I live.
Oh my god. All right, let's talk about this. So, when can you hit them? In a team fight, when can you hit someone? When can you hit the closest guy?
When there's no chance of dying, I guess.
Yeah, when you're safe, right? So, are you safe?
Like, I have the Jenna right next to me, and she's also, I feel pretty safe.
Right, but if you are, okay, do you win trades? Let's talk about matchup. Laning matchup. Okay, I agree. Do you win all in?
No.
So how do you win as Caitlyn?
Range.
Right. So if he's sitting back, you're losing. That's how you know. And if he hasn't stepped on a trap or is eating a net, you're losing. So the reason why we know you're losing this is because none of those happened. Right? This is just straight up all in. Right? So you're 100% losing. Right? I can't believe you actually live here.
Generals.
Oh my gosh, he gave you a shield just in time. Yo, so that's the idea is, it's like you have to know, one thing you could work on as well is recognizing when you're winning or losing, right? So on Xayah, when you're playing Xayah Khan, you're doing all in, you should think to yourself, we're winning, right? Because our matchup tells us that all in, we're double all in, they're playing Saber, Soraka, they want to trade. That's the only thing they can do. Then 100% winning. In this case, we're 100% losing because they're all in and we are what? What are we? We're poke. Right. Yeah. We're some kind of poke, and then like a one-shot follow-up poke catch, right? Is what we do, right? With traps. So we didn't do poke catch. We got a problem, right? And it's definitely hard to think about it in a team fight. Yeah. But the best rule of thumb is you don't fight unless you have like traps, right? Okay. You have some kind of trap ideas or anything like that, right? But yeah, that's something you can take a look at as well. And mechanics. Oh, how come you don't want to net forward here?
We don't have vision out of wall at Grump.
If he turns around, this is an all-in, right? So you're 100% losing, right? It's the same idea. It's the same idea. This Elise doesn't count because they're gonna kill you before she gets here. Oh, yeah. Right. 100% losing, right? So we already know before it happens. Is based purely on kind of matchup, right? And the reason why Lulu and Tristana's all in is why. Well, Tristana all in is kind of obvious, but why is Lulu all in?
Because of her slow and her enormous shields.
Okay, if it's Lulu Jin, are they all in?
No.
What if there's Lulu Varus?
They can all in.
What's the difference?
Just attack speeds.
Yes, the W is fucking stupid, right? The W and then the shield damage as well, right? And ulti. You can even say ulti will reset the fight. So whenever any kind of auto attack champion, Lulu's all in, right? So this could be Lulu Kog'Maw. A lot of people fall into this. I fall into this trap all the time, right? Is I fail to recognize that, oh shit, their matchup is winning this, right? So it's kind of the idea on Caitlyn is you want to follow up or catch.
Yeah.
Right. So follow up with trap on Cocoon or catch with trap. And then anything else is you hit the closest guy, right? So that's kind of the problems you've been having with fighting here. Oh, you're just dead. There's no way. You can even trap yourself, you're still gonna die to ulti, right? So in this case, this is like you don't at this point, it's just like over, right? It's kind of hard for you, and no one can defend this, right? It was the other stuff that kind of you couldn't really do anything about it. So basically, if you do find this situation, you say you don't die no matter what, because if you die, he takes the tower, and if you don't die, he takes the tower. At least you didn't die, right? So the big thing I think you should work on is map awareness for sure, right? The map awareness and mechanics. Okay, you're at the rank where mechanics actually matters. So we rarely tell people to work on mechanics, but for you, I think it's definitely something you can work on. So for Caitlyn, hold on to your ability, hold on to net, and spam trap. That's what I want you to do. That's your first job, okay? Don't even save traps for combo yet. Just put traps down, right? Traps down here, anything next to the wall, right? Anything next to the wall, anything on top of you, like this. This is good. You need to put more traps down though, right? Even more traps between like every auto attack, right?
And just like in this game, I feel like
oh that's awkward. Oh my! What?
Yeah, this is the funniest shit ever.
Oh my!
I'm so lucky with that kid. It's insane.
That was actually the most genius bait I've ever seen. Oh my god! Let me watch it again. How is this even possible? She must have barely died. Wait, how much HP does she have? What the hell? Two things happened. Like you didn't die, and she has 497. 4 5. You killed her by like 20 HP or something. I don't even know. Dude. That was insane. But right, it's honestly the same kind of ideas from your last game as well. Is this idea of mechanics, right? And throw in map awareness. Okay, we're gonna change the things you work on to two different things, right? The first is mechanics on these champions, right? You need to for Caitlyn, you need to be putting traps down, right? And you need to not use your net, right? The second thing you want to work on is map awareness, right? Whenever you want to do something, okay? When I say something, it means literally anything, right? You want to get this wave? Okay, where are they? Who are the missing people? Where could they be? And you say, okay, Tristana, Lulu, and something, and they could be in the bush next to you. So you have to pretend like they're in there, right? These are the first two things. The third thing is recognize winning or losing fights. I think because I think that for you just fight. Even if it's like winning or losing, right? It doesn't matter. You're just trying to hit someone, right? That could be a problem as well.
Just leave the team.
It's not necessarily leave the team, but don't walk forward is the idea. Like you help them kite. You can try and help them get away, but if it's apparent that they're not getting away, then you should get yourself away, right? Like here, how do you know this is winning?
Because we have Elise and me, and Elise can provide hard CC, I can trap, so we have enough damage to kill.
Right, more people, right?
And more people, of course.
Sometimes, Riven's going to be so big that more people doesn't work, but in general, more people is winning, right? This is still more people, right? And then, you're going to kill this asshole because what? You have more people, right? The problem is the opposite. When they have more people, you need to leave. Or when someone on your team is getting dunzoed, you need to leave, right? Okay, this guy's just, I don't know what he's doing, but he's just fucking dead. Unless he gets a 3-man knockup right now, he's gone, right? So, you can fight this guy, you have more people. Actually, they have Lulu, so maybe their Lulu Tristana combo is too strong. Oh, he's just dead. Oh my god, let me watch this real quick.
It's tragic.
Dude, I don't know what he's doing, but he just died. So they just all died. Nice. And then push, sure. Come back, defend. Alright, so I think This is winning, I think. You just hit someone and you're winning.
Yeah,
Oh, you flash forward.
yeah,
Oh,
I fucked up. I fucked up.
this is winning. Okay, how do you know
Why
this is
didn't you?
winning?
Oh shit!
How do you know this is winning?
Because they're fucking low. I have all my traps, and we should kill them if I just stay in range. They can't actually get to me
Right, they can't. They shouldn't
unless I
actually be able
walk in
to.
range and flash into them, of course.
Right. 3v3, they have no HP. You can hit the closest guy. That's winning, right?
Yeah.
So I think the thing that I'll help you the most is getting better at fighting, right? The mechanics aspect, right? Is the general rule is hit the closest guy, and then on Caitlyn, put your traps down.
Yeah.
Right, that's what you need to do. Right. Let me see if we can pull up any examples. Like, I'm sure you've seen like a bunch of killing games, right?
Dude, I can watch some of your shit, like your videos on YouTube, and
Yeah.
like it's easy to see that you're putting more traps than I am in this game. Like,
Right. Okay, yeah. Let's take a look at one fight just real quick so we can have it fresh in our mind, right? So this is this fight going on. Are we winning?
Is there a guy behind the Olaf from your team? I think there is. Xayah? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like not sure though, right?
Yeah,
it's not
pretty,
clear.
Pretty even.
It's not. Yeah, it's not clear. So you pretend you're losing. So we're gonna pretend like we're losing, right? We're never gonna walk forward. We're just walking back, right? See how we can chase Fizz? We don't chase Fizz, right? And then you just spam traps when you have traps. So actually, I'm running out of traps. So, but look at this shit. That's the first thing we do. Okay, you don't even hit anyone. It's the first thing you do. And then you're not sure you're winning. You back off. And then it's like, for whatever reason, you think you can win a fight, so you just walk forward. Sure, I think that's fine. And then he just this guy kills himself. The big idea is we're walking backwards though. Right. And then he kills himself. So okay, he dies. Sure, that's fine. Let's take a look at another fight. This is a dicey one. Okay. So same thing here. It's the same idea. We're gonna spam traps, hit the closest guy, pretend we're losing until we see for whatever reason we're winning. Right. The hook doesn't necessarily mean we're winning. Right. So it's really important to see how we just back off, even though he got hooked, right? Look how far back we are, right? Because we know pillar and flash combo is coming, right? So combo comes out, pillar comes out, all offs in our face. Still running back. You're just gonna run back always.
And you haven't just E yet as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. You don't need it. You don't use it. Right. That's the big one. On Xayah, I think for you is just don't use W until you can hit them. Right. And then here is just like I don't know. This is just over because you have more people. Right. You can do whatever you want at this point. Right. But the big idea is the that's trolling. I'm trolling. Right. That's okay. That's pretty bad. But that's like the general idea. Right. Let's see if there's another fight going on here. Let's see what's going on here. For whatever reason, we think we can win this. Oh, this is not good. This is definitely losing, right? So you need to get out, right? How do we know this is losing? How do you know?
They have numbers and they collapse on you from behind as well. Like you're really sandwiched.
Right. But we didn't know they were coming. So if something unexpected happens, you assume losing.
Yeah.
Okay. You always assume losing. So I'm oh shit, we gotta get out, right? Everyone's trying to run. Until you see otherwise, you're losing this game or you're losing this fight. And then maybe we can kill someone. Okay. And then out. We're out. Right. That's the best we can get. Right. There's nothing else to get. Right. And that's not bad. Right. Yeah, but the important thing is that you need to stay alive and not waste abilities. I think that's the idea we're looking at for these games. Right. The Xayah game. Don't worry about that. You're doing fine. It's just sure work on map awareness. When these games, it's just like our fighting kind of could be improved, right? If you hit someone, walk back, right? Let me see. What do we do here? Okay, he's just dying. Let me see if we can find another example. Let's see.
It's a pretty long game. I think there will be more fights. Should be.
Let's see. Let's hit another person. We actually can win this game now, so it's actually super interesting. We went from totally losing to actually being able to win. Okay, we actually do run away after we hit, so that's good. Okay, good. Fast forward. Okay, where are the good traps here? That's actually not bad because you thought they were chasing, but where are the good traps here?
They are between Kata and Yasuruven.
Remember, next to walls. Where are the good traps next to walls? Like here, right? Here, because they're gonna go on you, and here, right? Because this counts as a wall, right?
Yeah.
Anything that's a wall, right?
That's
In
true.
lane, this minions make a wall, so you can actually put a trap next to the minions on their side, right? That's actually a good one as well, right? Anything like this, right? That's the first thing I want you to do for mechanics, and then the second thing is don't use your E unless you need to get out, right? You really shouldn't be having to use your E, like here, right?
That's just
For
damage
example, right?
because it positions me so far away from everything.
Right.
And
You
have
need
to
to
use time to walk back.
exactly. You would rather put traps down too. So
Mm.
I think the it's kind of interesting because you don't really have if you had to say there's a weakest point of your gameplay, it would be the mechanics. Right. So for now, I think you should work on mechanics, and then once your mechanics are clean, then we can take a look again. Right. Re-examine, because I think it's like changing the game. Like we're missing opportunities and or fights should be winning, but they're not. Well, let's see what's going on here. Oh, we just put a trap down in his face. Oh, he's dead. Okay, nice. Yeah, show me a clean game with clean mechanics, and then I think we can go from there. Okay. The first thing you do, the band-aid fix is on Xayah, save W, practice your fighting patterns, right? And then use ulti to dodge something. I think that'll help you the most. Okay. And then for Caitlyn, don't use E. Right. You already know, but save your E for the last. And then you want to be putting traps down 24/7, right? Oh my god, that guy is insane. What is he doing? That doesn't kill, does it? Oh, it does kill. Wow, level 16. Oh!
The flash was short.
Right, so what happened here? That was kind of dicey.
E forward. I get the slow and then I flashed. If Riven jumped over that, then I would have actually just died probably.
Right. So if you wanted to flash, what's the idea?
Then I should flash. Wait. Which? But why would I flash? I should flash just maybe dodge Riven jump. That's it.
Right, but let's pretend Riven doesn't exist. If you flash here, so you can combo with trap.
Oh.
Right. That's it. That's the only play I can see here. Right, is you flash the combo with Cocoon.
I thought I wasn't in range, but I got fire cannon up right as I eat. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
And that's why. So I just flashed to apply red buff actually.
But Jax is just gonna jump to a word, right? So that's how we know it doesn't not quite clean, right? It need to be clean. The mechanics have to be clean before anything else, right? Wow, you just have so much money. Holy shit. Wow. Is there anything you could buy besides a Lord Doms?
Yeah, you can get more. You can get.
I don't think you want Ma here though, right? Because
yeah, they don't like that. Doesn't really make sense. Like you could buy Stray Skates when it was like ADC item, but not anymore.
Right, I would say that stance would be very good against Riven, for example, or Yasuo, and it's good against Tristana, right?
Because of the burst.
Right, burst. Tristana counts as burst. Again, like technically not burst, but since we're human, it's burst, right? It's technically sustained damage, right? But we just call it burst because
at least her first also is super burst.
Practically speaking, it's burst, right? And then you can even say QSS, right? Because you can QSS out of Yasuo ulti, right? You can bait him into ulting you, right? Because what happens if he ultis you? You QSS, put a trap down. He's dead. He's dead. It's done. And then you can also QSS Riven third knockup, right? Anything like that. But honestly, it may not matter yet, but some kind of itemization like that could be very important in these games, right? In Diamond 3, right? Definitely in Masters for sure. So we're getting to that point where like the mechanics and item builds actually matter. But let's see what's going on here. Base, sure. All you have to do is just put down a shit ton of traps, right? And you're good to go. Fast forward. Oh, we do get the Bloodthirster. Okay, nice. At least that's better than the Lord Doms, right? At this point in the game, you're just hitting the closest guy. Oh, okay, he's dead. You just put a trap down on his ass. There's a wind wall coming. Like, for example, you can put a trap down up here. Right, so I think right now, fighting is our... mechanics is our main priority, right? Okay. Oh, how come this flash... Oh my god, you actually get away with this flash forward. Let's take a look. Oh my god. What? Oh, little ulti Riven. That was a mistake. That Riven's gonna die no matter what. I guess since you're winning so hard, how do you know you're winning? But you're winning so hard that you can flash forward here. How do you know the situation's winning? When you see this.
I mean, we're moving forward. Riven is basically dead before this fight starts.
Right, Riven's basically dead. That's all you need to know. Okay, and then it's like maybe you're losing because Katarina instantly dies, but they have low HP, so you can
Yeah.
flash forward here. It's really oh, this guy is oh, okay. I think it's okay. Yeah, no win wall, so maybe net forward is fine. Fast forward. Oh, you even have GA too, so fast forward, get red, sure. Push mid, sure. Okay, I think you just need to make sure we don't like die to map awareness issues, I think, and the mechanics are clean. This is like honestly is really weird because you're one of the players who can do everything really well, but then you can also make mistakes in like every area. You know what I'm saying? So it's so hard to kind of figure out what you should work on. But if I were you, okay, I would first make sure that we prevent any kind of map awareness death, right? And we make sure the mechanics are clean. I think those are the first two things you want to take a look at. You don't really care about any of the macro rotation. Wait, okay, hold on. What do we do here? Whose job is it to base? I guess it's your job now, because Gangplank's dead.
No one wants to. So
That's fucking. That's
I need to be. Yeah. That's to tell that because I want to be a Baron. I don't want to fucking defend it.
Wait. What do you do here? Yeah, I think that. Okay, what are your options? That's the first thing we can talk about. But I don't think it's not something we're gonna work on. But we can just go over this. What are your options here after Gangplank dies?
For only for me, like not for the team or.
For you, yeah.
Okay, for me, I can stay at Baron or I can back to try and defend the inhib.
Okay, I agree. So if you stay at Baron, what's the idea?
The idea is to make them start Baron and poke them.
They're not gonna start Baron, right? Let's say what happens if they don't start Baron. Why would they start Baron? Their Yasuo is winning the game right now.
They might be retarded.
Okay, so here's the two ideas. One is you stay at Baron, you immediately fight.
Yeah.
4v4, and you try and win and take Baron in base. Because what happens is that if you don't do that, right, you just wait for them to start it. Yasuo wins the game. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yasuo pushes you guys to lose. The second option is you go stop Yasuo, you kill him, come to Baron. But right, and then the third option is you just base and then give up Baron. So that's the thing is you just have to know those are your outcomes, right? That's what's gonna be happening. So it looks like you guys are losing Baron. Unless there was a steal. Was there a steal? No, they just lost Baron, right? And then you also leave, which I think is could be dicey. But you guys, oh my god, you at least found something spicy. Oh my god, what's going on? Interesting, but yeah, Yasuo's kind of winning the game right now, which is a problem.
Yeah. So it should have probably stayed back. It's
more right, but
defend the 2 turrets than.
This is not something you worry about. The things you want to worry about is the stuff that happened earlier.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the 2 deaths, 3, 4 deaths early game in the because of map awareness is like snowballs the game, right? To this point, if that makes any sense. And then the that's a trap. Never mind. That's fine. He just dies because of damage. You just auto take this guy. Interesting. You just kill this guy too. Oh, okay. I just put a trap down in his ass. So it's really You just win the game off this. Okay. The first thing is you prevent any kind of map awareness stat. I think it's the first priority. Okay. So go 5 games without dying to map awareness first. Right. Yeah. And then once you can go back to your Plays TV and look at your deaths and say, I did not die a single time to map awareness. The second thing you do is mechanics. Okay. Because you need to be able to win these fights. Yeah. When it's like even or slightly losing, right? So for Caitlyn, it's we already discussed this a lot, right? But put the traps down, don't net, right? Don't ulti in their face, I guess, unless you can kill them. I mean, it did work, so I mean, what can I say? But and then for the Xayah game, we discussed that a lot too. But remember your fighting patterns, right? W value no matter what, right? The W has to be value no matter what, and then ulti to dodge something, right? But those are your first 2 priorities, okay? And then if you can go 5 games of no map awareness deaths, and then 5 games of no map awareness deaths and no mechanical mistakes, then you do try and recognize winning and losing fights. Okay, I think that's the order you want to be working on in these games, right? Because even if your mechanics are good, you're not going to be able to win, say for example, the 4v5 in that Xayah game, right? I think those are the top three things you could work on, and it's kind of vague except for the mechanics stuff, but for sure
But
the
how do
map
you
awareness
improve
stuff.
this like you say the things with like how to play it, like Caitlyn and Xayah a little bit different with like traps and E and W and the rotations, but like I don't know, should I just like watch a bunch of replays
No, no,
when it
no, no,
comes
no.
to
The way
playing?
you work on
Should I just
mechanics
play a lot?
is
Like you just need to
uh
spam games
no,
because
no, no.
uh
It's like you go into game with purpose.
yeah.
Okay, it's not about how many games you play, although that will help. It's about when you go into game, you specifically think the only usage of net I'm gonna do is kill someone, get away. That's it.
Mm.
So if you ever do, if you keep telling yourself in game that you're like, okay, net is
It's
only used for this. Net is
more
only
like
used
the
for
cue
this.
thinking.
Right. And I actively have to think about it. And then you say,
Mm.
I'm gonna put traps down when a fight happens, like on the walls or anywhere, literally anywhere for now. Right. Just put traps down, and then hit the closest guy. That's it. That's your core mechanics. And then when you can do that every fight, that's how you know you've worked on it. Right. And the instant you use net like for a different purpose, you're like, oh shit. Right. You'll immediately remember that you weren't supposed to do that. For example, right? That's what happened
Yeah.
to me. Is that I was like, oh shit, I used net again, right? So then I say, okay, don't use net, don't use net, don't use net. And then for Xayah, you say, the only time we use W is when we can hit someone and
Yeah.
go in, for example. And then if you see yourself using W on the wave, you're like, oh, made a mistake, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how you can work on it. And then for like something like Xayah ulti, you target specific abilities, right? Say in an all-in, Saber's gonna throw boomerang. I'm gonna ulti her boomerang.
Mm.
That's how you work on mechanics. Is you have a specific purpose for every ability, right?
Yeah.
And then you don't break that rule, right? You don't use it for any other purpose except for what you said before the
Yeah.
game started. So
Yeah.
that's how you work on mechanics.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. Let me know how things go. If you do have any other questions, do you have any other questions?
Oh yeah, I actually have one. The game you showed me with when you were playing,
Mm-hmm.
Caitlyn, you built Hurricane. Are you trolling or is it
Okay, so
actually decent
first
because
was Phantom Dancer, right?
yeah,
And then let's take a look at the team comp. Phantom Dancer was for all left
low
trundle,
life?
fizz,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And then the reason I didn't get static is because it's less valuable against tanks, right? And I don't need it to
Mm.
push, right? So my idea was I was trolling, right? I just wanted to try to Blade the Ruin King Hurricane. That was
Yeah.
actually going to be the full build, but we didn't get
Okay,
that far,
yeah.
right? If I were to actually, if I wasn't that far ahead, maybe I'll do something like rapid fire, right?
Yeah.
Having more fleet forward procs is very important. But even then, you could say Hurricane has value with red buff against all frontline. You could say that it does have value with red buff. So Hurricane's actually not the worst, but better than static for sure.
Yeah.
So you got to choice between Hurricane, Rapid. I'm pretty sure that's it, right? So after that, I would get Blade the Ring King since I got Hurricane or Lord Dom's, right? Imagine Lord Dom's Hurricane, Blade the Ring King. That's kind of cool, right? That's what I was going for, but we didn't get there in time, so that's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Hurricane value was like non-existent if I didn't have red buff, but I guess it did have red buff. Like in this fight, I think it did some work, right? Hurricane procking on like all these frontline people. It even got Jin, right? So that's how you know it's kind of spicy. But honestly, you can't really go wrong, right? You can't really go wrong with the Zeal items.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
They all like pretty decent.
yeah, they were pretty good. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's why I got that. Anything else?
I don't think so. No.
All right, cool. I think definitely you just need to play more games to get a better sense of what's going on, right?
Yeah.
But I would say for sure work on those three things, right?
Yeah.
Because if you do lose, there are times when map awareness is like in a turning point. Like in these turning points of these games, map awareness was a problem, I think. So definitely
I
take a
think
look at that.
that's a problem. Like a month ago or something, before I had a lot of studying to do. I reviewed or looked back at 10 of my games or something. And like in all the games, like if I count up my deaths, it would be like map awareness deaths, like most of them. Like
Right.
just me running like greedy path
Oh
without
no.
vision and stuff like that, and I would just die.
Yeah,
All I die in trying to defend a turret versus a top laner.
That happened to me too. So yeah, definitely sounds like you know how to keep track of this stuff. So that's the three things I think I would have you work on. right?
Mm.
But yeah, let me know how that goes, right?
Yeah, sure, sure.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds perfect, dude.
All right. If you
All
do
right.
have any other questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord.
Yeah, sure, sure. All right. Have a good night or
Good luck in your
whatever
games.
evening, I guess it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
evening.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
See you.
See ya.